Okay, now we start to print on the bottle with the rotary cylinder model. So first we go to the software, control software, and also we keep the machine powered on. Power on the machine and open the control software. And from the control software, we can see right now it is flatbed model, flatbed machine model. So we must convert to cylinder to print on the bottle because the setting is different. So we go to find on the icon named the switch machine, switch printer. We click on and we choose cylinder machine. Before we click yes to convert, we must be sure there's nothing stay at the table to prevent the carriage and the flatbed moving. To be sure everything's okay, then we go to click yes. Then the machine will convert to cylinder setting. The carriage starts to moving up and down and move to the left, then back to home position. Then it's convert already, and then we click exit. Then we can see the cylinder machine. It shows the cylinder machine model from the bottom here. That means the machine is converted to cylinder already. The setting or back to cylinder. And then we go to some setting. Here we choose not full ink. For print the bottle, the varnish cannot using. So we use first we choose the size. The how many nozzle print ink. Also as I said before, it's dependent on the size, the cube size, the cube gap of the material. If you print a big bottle, then you choose more nozzles, like 1/3 or 1/4. If you the small bottle we choose 6 or 12 or 10. So that's depending on the size of the bottle. The diameter bigger, then we choose the big number, like 12 or 10. The diameter is bigger, then we choose a small number. The diameter of the bottle is bigger, then we choose the small number. So this is the size. Normally we choose 1/6 for print. And here we choose middle and right. Keep this spot. And here we choose white with varnish. Or as you only print white or print only color or white or varnish. For print white and color is used for print on the black bottle. And for print on the white bottle, if you do not want the embossed result, you can choose only color. The varnish will not show on here. After we do some basic setting, then we can go to first install the cylinder, the rotary device to the machine. Before we install the rotary device, here is the rotary, the marker is the bottle device. We need to move down the table. So we go to the Z-axis and we press down to move the table to the bottom. Then the table starts to moving down. Okay, after the table moving to the bottom, already moved down the table is moving down, and then we can prepare a tape to protect the varnish print head, because when we print the bottle, the varnish at the front we are not working, so we must protect it to avoid the strong UV lamp to get cubed for the varnish ink print head. So we find a tape like this. It's a PP paper. It's with the tape inside. So first we cut down the size as 6 for the width, 60 60 millimeter, and the length almost 270 for the length. And then we move out the carriage by place left. Then we can see the varnish print head is at the front. So this is the varnish print head. It's quite white color varnish. Let's say again, white color varnish print head. So we must protect the varnish print head to prevent the strong UV lamp to get the curved print head to get clogged. So we find the tape and we can remove a little bit. And then we pour about a little bit. Here have tape, have stick. Please be sure the tape, this side will not tape, no glue inside, otherwise it will affect print head. Double side, also remove it. So this is the paper, like this. And then we protect the varnish print head. We find out the varnish print head, and then we stick the tape to the back side of the carriage, as this, to the middle. Just be sure we can totally protect the print head, but not cover the white and varnish print head, the white and color print head. Otherwise, we cannot get ink coming out for other print head. Like this, make the flight. So now the varnish print head will not jet ink out. Then we print the bottle, the varnish will not print ink, and the strong UV lamp will not cube the varnish print head. And also we must be sure the white and color print head is not covered by the tape. If the print head get covered, especially for the color print head, if it is covered by the tape, then when we print, there is no color ink coming out. We must be sure white and color print head without tape, and only varnish print head with tape, like this. After we did this protection job, then we can go sit back to home for the carriage, back to home. And then we find out that the bottle printing device jigs put on the table as this. And here have some screws. And be sure the left and the right the position installed on here. Here some little gap. This screw is locked on the hole of the beer. Also left and right the same. The gap between here and here is 5 milliliter. The gap between here and here is 5 milliliter. But if you want to print a small size, small bottles like this, then you can move this to front. So if we adjust to this position, then we can adjust the position. Anyway, we must be sure the middle of these two beer, the top point must be at the same line of the middle between the print head of white ink and color ink. The middle of the white ink and color ink is from this position, almost here. The same line, the top point the curved top point must meet with the same line of the white color and varnish color print head. So if we adjust by this position, the gap between the edge of the metal here, to the front is about 273. So this is the gap. 273 is the gap between the edge of the metal to the front of the cover. But this size. After we check, the both left and the right size is the same. To make the same edge. For left and the right, we adjust the position first. After we be sure the size is okay, then we can lock the screw on the metal. We can adjust the one at the front, at the middle. So if you print the small bottles, you need to move to front or to back to adjust it again. And then also one at the left, at the front. And then two screws at the left, at the right side. We adjust the same position. So we just need to lock four screws. Then we can start to print. It's really convenient and easier to adjust. Sorry, if we push it here, then we hit the anti-collision system. We have beep sounds coming out. So by this way, we can go to the software. We can release the anti-collision system. We can click on and click release. Then the beep sounds will disappear. So after we lock the jigs, and then we can start to adjust the tension of the roller and the table. So we can move the table to front by place feet from the control panel. Then the table starts to move to front. And then we adjust tension. We must be sure the lower is not too tighten or too loosen. When we move the table, the lower can be moved freely. See, the lowers can be moved. If it's too strong or too tighten, we can adjust the screw at the left and right side by this position. There are two lowers to adjust the tension, the front and the back. The two lowers right here. And also two at at the left sides. This one and this one. So we can do the adjustment, and then we push down, make it deflate, and then we lock, make it fasten. Anyway, we must be sure the roll is not too strong or too tighten, not loosen or not too tighten. When we move the table, all the rolls can be moved. Like this. If not connect wire, then we need to adjustment to push down the rolls. We push down. See, we can push down. We push down and then we lock to make the tighten. We must be sure all the rolls, the wires, can be connect wire with the table, but not too tighten. We check all the rolls will not loosen like this, or connect wire with the table, not loosen, but not too strong. When we see the bottom, the rolls, the wires, we can see all the rolls connect the wire as this. Then we can start to put the bottle on the top of the wires and start print. For example, we want to print a picture on this kind of bottle, this drinking bottle, so we can remove out the cover and we put at the middle of the wires as this. And then we can move out the carriage. And we check the gap. To adjust the gap between the print head and the material is between 2 to 1 millimeter. So we go to software, we move up. To be sure it will not scratch the print head. If we print out a bottle, so on the top sensor here will be not working. The upper limit sensor, because the bottle is at here, it's at the front side, not here position. So we must check the gap between by our eyes ourselves. After we check the gap is okay, and then we must move left to right. Double check the gap will not scratch print head. And also we rotate, remove the table front to back, and to be sure all the wires will not, the bottle is cycle, the cycle is regular. Sometimes the bottle is not regular. It is easy to hit print head. So after we check the gap is okay, then we can start to print. Okay, then we put the bottle on the top of the cylinder bottle device. They have different kind of material of the bottle. So if the bottle is made from glass or ceramic, so we need to use the coating to coat it on the surface of the bottle. If it's metal, for example, this bottle, it have a coating already before the manufacture. So some bottle this the blush steel material, so we use the coating. So now I'll show you how to do the coating on the surface. We find out the metal coating because this bottle is from metal. From the metal coating, we open the cover, and we mix with some. We mix with some the clean solution. Sorry, with some coating, and then we apply on the surface of the bottle. We load it. We apply it by cycle, not by this way. This way, we easy to get the branding. So we use the cycle method to apply the coating on the surface of the bottle. Like this. Cycle. Remember, no blush way, but the cycle way. So after we apply the coating, we're just waiting for about 5 to 10 minutes. So waiting for the coating is dry. After coating is dry already, then we can put the bottle on the top of the jig. Like this. And then we move out the carriage and we double check the gap is okay. No scratch the bottle. The gap is okay, then we go this as we said. And then we go to the software again and we check all the settings before we print. First, we be sure it's your cylinder machine here. Cylinder machine, convert to cylinder model, and we go to adjust and double check. We go to setting, and here we choose the number of diameter, how many nozzles working. So for this bottle is small, so we choose 1/10 of the nozzle to print. The middle size, print to right. And print with white and color because it's white. The black is a black bottle, no mineral, and safe. Remember, we must save all the settings after we change. Then we go to print, and here we must check the direction of the bottle, the direction of the picture. And then we go to task setting, and we check some settings, and we check everything's okay. Then we can click print. Then print start to print. So we can see the print white ink first. So we can see the white ink is on the top of the top point of the black bottle. Here we can see the colors coming out. And also for if you need some overlap, so we can do the setting from here. They have a setting from here. Adjust here. See here, we can choose adjust the material by rotary or flat bed. So if you have any overlap, so left to right, you can adjust the number by to left to right, horizontal, vertical from here. All the settings is separate with the flat bed model. So if you have any overlap, you must do the alignment from the rotary material model, but not flatbed. Here we can choose after print. And if you want to avoid some overlap, we can also do setting on the spot later. So if you have any overlap for the white ink, we can do the setting first from Photoshop to cut edge, and also we can set from the RIP software to do the blotting, or we can set from the control software. The control software on the spot channel, at the spot icon, open it. Then we can also set the gap, the cut edge, the size. So now we can see white layer, the color layer is printed out already. The higher resolution. We can see the bottle after printed by Focus Alpha Jet Max. C250 by Focus Corporation. Higher resolution. No overlap at any position. White color, same layer. So if you have any overlap for print the black bottle with white ink layer first. So see here, this is no overlap. So if you have any white ink coming out overlap, so we can do the setting, same as print the tape, print with flatbed motion. So we go to convert switch it to cylinder machine, and keep the machine under the cylinder machine model. And then we go to adjust here. And here we can also we choose the rotary. So here become the rotary already. We choose by rotary model. And here we can do all the settings same as flatbed as before, the same procedure and method. We do the step, the vertical, this is no need, same as flatbed. But the step, the headspace, and bed action is different. Color adjust is same. The bed action, headspace, step, all the parameters we need to alignment again for only used for rotary media. But the number will not change too much. It's only between 5, maximum 5 or 10 digital numbers change. For example, if the step adjustment, the step for flatbed is 60162. So if you print on the bottle, maybe just 601, 63 or 65 or 4 or 58, 59 like this. Only 3 to 5 digital number change, not change too much. And also this for step and headspace, the same. To left to right and vertical and horizontal, and the color adjust, no change, same as flatbed. The bed action you can changes a little bit small. Normally this no change, but if you have overlap for printer with bed action on the bottle, you still need to change a little bit. So if you change the number, change the parameter from here, so all the parameters will only used for the rotary material. So we convert back to flatbed, the number will be changed back to flatbed as the flatbed parameter as before we set. So that means these two suits of parameters, one suit for rotary, one suit for flatbed. And these two suits of parameters we must adjust separately, unique. And if you still have a little bit overlap, you can go to the setting. For example, we print this picture, we have a little bit of overlap, and then we can go to the spot color here. And here we can select, we can cut the indent. This for blooding. We can cut by 0.3 or 0.2 millimeter for top, for left, or for cut. But if you print small words, small character, you need to reduce the number. If you print a bigger image, you can put big increase the number. So this is also for blooding. The same as the blooding here for the rib, same as the rib from here, the spot color here, the blooding here. But here we just opened by minus 0.55. So if you put already from here, then here we no need to set. But if you still a little bit overlap, you can still set from here. And this function is also working well for flatbed version. When you go to the flatbed model, if you have a little bit overlap, you can still go to the spot channel, and you select this kind of setting by -3, -2. After you select, you must click save. For example, we put by 0.3 for the top, but we must click save. Otherwise, it will not working. Must click save for save the parameter. Then we go back for print. So this is a procedure to do the calibration for the rotary device as step, headspace, color adjustment, and bed direction, and for the spot blooding setting. So this is all the setting. The procedure and the method is same as flatbed version. So after we finish the print bottle, we want to print it on the table on the flatbed and the flatbed version model. So we need to convert to the flatbed model. We go to switch printer and we choose flatbed and then click yes. And keep machine power on. Then we go to click exit. So now the machine is under flatbed version, flatbed model. We can print the flatbed material. And the machine starts to do self-testing. We can remove the bottle from the jig. Then we move out the carriage. Remember before we put a tape on the top or the bottom of the varnish printer head. So we need to press left. And then we remove the tape on the bottom of the carriage. So we put the tape for print bottle. Remove the tape. When we don't want to print with bottle, we print the flatbed. So we remove the protection tape. So the tape move out, and then we must be sure here is not have any. Don't put any tapes with glue. Glue is at both sides, and then we throw away. So after we remove the tape, then we can place X home from the software to make the carriage back to home position. So and also then we remove the rotary jigs device from the flatbed by loosening the 4 screws, 2 at the left and 2 at the right. And another 2 holes is used for you print with another diameter that cannot, the small diameter bottle you can move to front. This wheels. Loosen the 4 screws, 2 at the left and 2 at the right, to move to the front. And then the totally device move to forward, and they adjust the same position of the print head. So after we remove the jigs from the table, and then we can continue to print the flat bed. So just remember all the procedure for print the bottle and print the tape, print the flat bed material is different. Thank you.